Communication Councilman Brian Gardner.
Let us pray. Dear Lord, tonight we pray for unity and the wisdom and the ability to find common ideas to help our community. Help us to draw together around the needs of all the citizens of Darlington who are affected by our decisions. Also, Lord, we lift up the family of Terrence Caraway and his service and unselfish giving of his life for others, and may we all, and especially his family, find peace in his sacrifice and the example that his life gives for all of us to follow. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have two minutes of September 25th and October 2nd. We have September 21st. Can I get a motion?
I make a motion that we approve the minutes of September 25th, 2018 council meeting.
Second. It's been properly moved and seconded. We receive the minutes of September 25th. All in favor? Let the minutes on the aye. Sign aye.
Aye.
Nays have the same right. Motion carries. October 2nd, 2018 council meeting.
I make a motion that we accept that we approve the minutes of our October 2nd, 2018 council meeting.
We have the motion and second that we receive the minutes, approve the minutes of the October 2nd meeting. All in favor? Let the minutes on the aye. Aye. Nays have the same right. Okay, now number 4, approval of the meeting agenda.
I move that we approve the meeting agenda.
Second.
Did you get that, Nick? And the properly moved and second to get the approval of the minutes agenda. Motion and second. All in favor? Let the minutes on aye.
Aye.
Nays have the same right. Now we have our report of standing committees. Lisa Ross.
Thank you, Mayor and Council.
DRA.
This week, the DDRA will present its final grant award for 2018 of $1,000 to Palmetto Office Furniture for facade improvements. To date, the DDRA has awarded $7,000 to local businesses, which doesn't sound like a lot, but the projects connected with this program have accounted for more than $170,000 of investment in the city, not counting the domino effect of neighboring property owners that have been sprucing up their buildings and investing in our town. The Board of Directors has approved another $5,000 to continue the Improvement Incentive Grant Program for 2019. This is a 50-50 matching grant up to $1,000 for sign replacements, repairs, and facade improvements, including things such as paint, awnings, and doors. The goal of the DDRA and its programs is to help our businesses grow, and this project does just that. And that $170,000 figure is amazing. It's certainly not the number we thought, but it's a great number to have. To be able to say that we encourage that kind of growth in our town and that kind of investment. And I know there's several projects that people have done that they didn't apply for this grant. The hardware store they've gotten a new sign. The Pauling and James building has been painted, completely refreshed. They didn't ask for a dime. The building that used to have Kilbo Law Firm that is now Nationwide has been repainted and looks great. And that's the kind of domino effect that we want to have to encourage everybody to have pride in this town. The DDRA, with the holidays coming up, we will host a series of events. The first is going to be our annual Shop Small Downtown Open House on Thursday, November 29th from 5 to 8 p.m. on the public square with Darlington Recreation, DJ Danny Lockamy, Santa Claus, and snow. Businesses around the square are invited to stay open late, and other businesses that are not located on the square can have a vendor booth on the square. They can submit giveaway items or provide flyers, coupons, or promotional items to distribute. We will be handing out 200 Shop Small tote bags You may have seen these in the last several years. Our partner, American Express, provides these to encourage people to shop locally. And we're asking our local businesses to get me materials to put in those, so when people come out to the Shop Small event, they'll have a packet of information of local businesses, menus, coupons, whatever folks would like to include. Any business, nonprofit, or churches that are interested in participating in this in any way should just contact my office. So far, we have more than 5 vendors that will be set up on the square selling items that are outside businesses or just individuals that make crafts. And then a couple of the notable folks that are around the square who will be participating. Prescott Wireless is going to be having refreshments, and Purpose to Life Ministries is going to have kids crafts and some other things going on in their church. We will also be having our annual Shop Darlington promotion between Thanksgiving and Christmas, where we encourage residents to shop at Darlington businesses. You shop at 5 different businesses, different Darlington businesses, send in your receipts in an entry form, and you're entered to win one of 3 $100 fuel cards. And you can enter as many times as you can come up with 5 receipts. So we're trying to get as many people to shop locally as they can, and take a look at our businesses, because they really do try to get a diversity of inventory to match what people would like to see. And if you take the time to visit some of the shops that maybe you haven't been into and take a look and see what they have, you'll be surprised at some of the items that you'll see. Gift items, note cards, Carolina Clemson stuff. I mean, there's all kinds of things that you think you have to go to Florence to get, but they're right here in Darlington if you just look. And so we're trying to get people to take that step. And of course, chance of winning $100 ain't a bad thing either. Finally, our last Christmas event will be the Downtown Christmas Market. That will be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Saturday, December 15th, inside the Fellowship Hall at Trinity United Methodist Church on Pearl Street. We're going to have free face painting and a coloring station for the kids, so the kids will be occupied so you can shop. And we'll have lots of vendors, and Santa will arrive at noon to meet with the kids.
What time did you say that was?
That is 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. The Market on Darlington Square Committee is putting that on. Since we weren't able to get the staffing for the market monthly, they decided that the money that they've raised over the years with the market, they were going to put into one big event. Christmas market.
There's a Trinity.
It's at the Trinity Fellowship Hall.
You still have some vendor spaces available?
Oh yes, we still have vendor spaces for any of these events. So anybody just call my office and I can get them hooked up. Anybody who wants to participate in any way.
Any more questions?
Thank you.
We're the Chamber of Commerce, Ms. Harriet Hall.
Good morning.
Haven't seen you in a while.
I know, it's nice to see your faces. Well, the Toast of Darlington, which was held on October the 4th, and due to circumstances beyond the Chamber's control, the Board of Directors voted to move the venue from Oak to Public Square. It was a wonderful turnout and everyone had a great time. The feedback from the attendees from having it on the square was wonderful. People said they loved being downtown. They loved the lights from the businesses, the street lights. They said it was welcoming. They felt a great sense of community. And it was a huge success for the Chamber. People got to mill around. A lot of people that were there had never been. So it was a nice event. We got to meet people, like I said, that had never been. The Thay Retirement brought a busload of people, and it was just a nice evening. The Chamber held their annual planning meeting, and we've set dates for our annual events. The annual banquet will be February 28, 2019. The Spring Fling, which is an free Easter egg hunt, will be April 13th. Bow Ties and Pearls will be April 26th. Freedom Fest will be June the 29th. And the Toast of Darlington will be October 10th. And one other event we've got coming up, which is not just a chamber event, is Light Up Darlington. I hope everybody's been hearing a buzz about that. The public square of Darlington is hopefully going to look like a scene out of a Hallmark movie this Christmas. And if people come and walk around, if you stand still more than 5 minutes, somebody's going to throw Christmas lights on you. That's the goal for this event, if you will. On Sunday, December the 2nd, the square is going to be aglow in Christmas lights. This year, thanks to a donor, we will have a real Christmas tree in Darlington. It's going to be 21-foot tree with a 4-foot star on a 6-foot platform. So you add all that up, it's going to be a tall tree. It's going to sit on the fountain. The county's given us permission to drain the fountain. It needs to be winterized anyway. And Kiwanis is going to paint a 6-foot platform to look like a Christmas drum. We're going to have the tree set on that. And it's going to be lit on December the 2nd. I can't tell you how excited I am. For years I've been saying, let's get a real tree. Well, it's going to happen. And no tree had to die for this. It's an artificial tree that Darlington will have for years. And we're going to try and light up all of the Bradford pears around the public square. And we're calling those our angel trees. And for $100 contribution, you can light up one of those trees in memory of, in thanksgiving of, what you are thankful for, just because you love Darlington. We're going to put red velvet bows on all of the flower pots. We are going to be putting a wreath on all of the storefronts, businesses, and churches around the storefront. A green wreath with a red velvet bow. Now, we're going to take them back so we can reuse them next year and refreshen them. But we're hoping that we look like a Hallmark movie. And what we're trying to do is, if you think about Sumter, they have Swan Lake. Swan Lake brings in a lot of revenue. People come, they shop, they eat, and they look at the lights. That's what we want to do. That's the aim. Next year, we want to take it further. We want to put lights. Now we don't know if we can do this yet. We want to outline all of the buildings around the square. But leave it there. So when the car haulers parade comes by, boom, we cut them on. When you've got an event like we had the pep rally with all the kids, boom, cut those lights on, because our square is dark. It's a beautification project. It's a safety issue. Plus, it just makes us look happy. I haven't heard kids laughing downtown in a couple of months. I want to hear them. I want to see them running. We're going to have snow too. And we're going to serve hot chocolate and cookies to the kids. I just can't find a gingerbread house. Somebody's eating all the gingerbread houses around here. And I just can't get one built in time. So under a tent, I'm going to serve hot chocolate and cookies. And the church on the square is going to help. They called me yesterday. So it's bringing the community together. People that you would never think would come to these meetings are coming to these meetings, and they're wanting to help. They're giving up their Saturdays and Sundays to decorate the square. So I'm hoping that after this year, this committee wants to take it out to Williamson Park. So you drive through our town, and it becomes a happy Christmas town. And we can make the money that Sumter does. And maybe these businesses on the square, somebody might say, oh, I like that abandoned building. Look what they're doing. I need to set up a gift store. So maybe this will help bring some business into our town.
Ms. Hobbs, I want to thank you and your committee, because that's part of my vision to brighten up Darlington. It started when I first became mayor. I asked that as beautification committee, and you and your committee, thank you for helping my vision to come.
Thank you. I am glad to. And if anybody would like to contribute, donate, light up an angel tree, yell at me. I have forms. I have forms. Y'all can do it. We can light up Darlington.
How much is it?
It's $100 a tree. And, beg your
How
pardon?
many trees you have?
Well, we can light up one tree 15 times. Because it's in memory of. It's in memory of, or a Thanksgiving of, or like I said, count your blessings. And my blessing is I love Darlington. So my tree will be lit up because I love Darlington.
Because I know that would really be wonderful, because the lights going down to Walmart the first time, people were excited about that. And we're going a little bit further this year, Lisa and her committee, we're going a little bit further each way, right?
Yes, ma'am. We will have, there will be snowflake pole decorations going down Cashua to Spring Street, down North Main to the library to North Street, and then from where they stop at South Dargan, where they previously stopped, they will go all the way to Piggly Wiggly.
All right. That's a good thing.
And Rhonda Brown has been working tirelessly.
Yes.
If you look at the entrance to Darlington on the Lamar Highway side, she's already got these huge wreaths where people can take family pictures in. And we're going to have those lit up on the square also.
Those were our old wreaths that came, we put them to use now.
Yes.
Well,
New
Yes.
life.
Guess we bring our vision.
Thank you.
On the sign-in sheet, there will be no personal attacks on anyone on council, the city administrator, the lawyer, myself, or even the clerk. And will be stopped. Andre Nance? You have 5 minutes.
I know. I've lived in Darlington for 10 years and I love living here. I own businesses in this town. My kids and grandchildren live within a 2-minute drive of my house, and it's a place where I look forward to seeing these grandchildren grow up. I have seen and heard many things that surprise me, but none so much as what has been happening these past few weeks, months. I admit that I don't come to every council meeting because of my work schedule. Thankfully, Anna DeWitt records each meeting and I catch up when I get home. She does a great job at this and should be commended. As council members, you are all seated there because members of your communities voted you in. Each one of you, we trusted that you would do what you think is best for the city. Whether you all agree with each other or your citizens or not, you are there for the betterment of the community at large. We did not, however, vote you in to see certain members act like children every month. We did not vote you in so that we could watch you bicker, make snide remarks, and be cruel to each other with backstabbing and small gang mentality each month. Trust me when I say this as a citizen, on this side of the bench from where you were all sitting, that is what the community sees. Time and again. I'm not the only person that has said this. In October, there was a paid ad in the news and press by Donald Gilliard, a non-resident of the city. Mr. Gilliard was upset that Councilwoman Bruce had voted for a white-owned company instead of a black-owned company. He went on to pick fault at only Councilwoman Bruce many times, even though other members of council voted the same way. He mentioned race 15 times. I believe, as I mentioned earlier, that you were all voted in by your community members to make the best choice there is. I also believe that Councilwoman Bruce voted the way she thought would help best help the town. I applaud her for that. Is Mr. Gilliard saying that Councilwoman Bruce should have voted for the black female-owned company simply because she's black, and that Councilwoman Bruce should now be considered a sellout? The overall takeaway from Mr. Gilliard's ad was that because Latham Consulting Corporation was owned by a black woman, this should have been the only information needed to get her vote, to get that vote. How are we in 2018 even thinking that this is acceptable? I personally do not care what colour a person is, whether they are gay or straight, religious or not. If you're nice to me, I'm nice to you, and you will get treated the same way equally. As is the same for businesses. If you can do the job, are good for the town overall, then whatever colour you are should not even enter the equation. I won't even go into the accusations of bribery that he placed against Councilwoman Bruce. How do you, as a mayor, how do you, as fellow council members, allow such derogatory, inflammatory and untrue statements be said against one of your fellow council members? How do you not publicly stand up for each other? How are you doing what's best for the community by allowing this rhetoric? By your lack of public statements denouncing this ad, you are showing business owners of this city, black and white, that they are viewed separately, that they are technically segregated, again in 2018. I know that these are Mr. Gilliard's words, that this is his disgusting racial rhetoric. However, Councilwoman Bacchus and Mayor, I believe Mr. Gilliard has worked with you in the past, representing you and campaigning for you. Thus, in my eyes, and I would assume most of your communities, he is linked with you. How are you not denouncing the things he is saying to a fellow council member? You don't distance yourself from this man or his words. Instead, you further this racial garbage by sharing his posts on Facebook like children. Your community sees it all. Do you agree with what he says? If so, you should be removed from your position. Back in 2017, Mayor, you stated, I thank all the voters, I'll help you no matter where you live or what colour you are. That is just the kind of person I am. And yet here you sit, sharing posts, allowing this man to give prejudicial statements against a fellow councilwoman.
Ms. Maps.
Previous meetings, members of the public have gone up to 8 minutes.
That's a misquote. That's a misquote.
I got it from the news and press.
Well, I don't have anything to do with it, but anybody right. That's
It was
not
a
my- that's not
direct
me.
quote from you.
No, you get that from me. I didn't know anything about it.
Chevron Scott commented in this week's news and press that the city has descended into the murky swamp of divisive rhetoric filled with prejudice and racism. Your communities are reading these. On November 2nd, Councilwoman Bacchus, you posted on Facebook, not a city website, that you were hosting a community meeting, saying it was for all of the citizens in Ward 1 and all is welcome. I live in Ward 1. You represent me. As I said, I can't get to most meetings because of work. Anna DeWitt, a community member, went to record the meeting and was kicked out. You said all were welcome. Why did you kick her out? As a resident of Ward 1, I was interested in what was being said. Unfortunately, because there were no official minutes taken, no recording, I had no clue what happened, what was discussed and how I could help this town. Did you post a follow-up on a public page for all of your Ward 1 to see what was discussed? Did you post anything on the city website? I didn't see anything. So if only the people who went to the meeting know what happened, tell me how the rest of the community is supposed to help and make this town better. How are you serving the community as a whole? I've said before that for every positive thing that happens in Darlington, the Sweet Potato Festival, the Christmas lights, Taste of Christmas, for everything the Greater Darlington Chamber does, all of this gets overlooked when horrendous behaviour that we are seeing is accepted. All you've done is promote racial disharmony in this community, in this pearl of the PD. Finally, all this saddens me so much. But what brings tears to my eyes is that I'm watching my grandchildren grow up and them seeing all this. They are growing up in a world where they're seeing this behaviour from you, adults in 2018. The community sees this, and anyone, anywhere in the world with a computer can see this. You should be ashamed of yourselves. You should be ashamed of yourselves.
Thank you, Ms. Maps. Ms. Gladys John.
Jules.
I'm a Jew.
It's all right. I know you're not supposed to answer questions or anything, but this is my turn to speak. But who is this lady that records? I don't want to speak poorly of her or anything, but I was under the impression she was someone that's associated with city council. But now I'm finding out she's probably not. Am I wrong or right?
She's not.
Okay. Okay, then I'll go ahead and talk.
Okay.
I've been coming to these meetings for a year now, and every one of these meetings has been extremely difficult for me to sit through. And I say that because I'm from Darlington. I grew up here, and now I'm back. And I am extremely disturbed by what I see when I come to council meetings every month. And I've been faithfully coming, unlike this person, so I have been faithfully coming. I've joined 2 boards. I read the city ordinances. I'm trying not to make, and I'm real emotional, I'm trying not to make judgments and talk against people. But this is just like, I couldn't let it go any longer. So what I want to say is that I complimented this lady on using the law when she got up to speak. But what I found out, and this lady, I mean the lady that's photographing, what I found out was that the motive was to belittle the mayor. And I didn't realize that because I don't see it. I don't see things in the way that other people do. I just want to be open because all I want is to live here in peace, retire here, and to have a good quality of life. But the city services are terrible. The city council, the mayor are totally disrespected. It is just unheard of. And unlike other people, I know this is black and white. I don't care what anybody says. It's always been black and white, and it probably always will be. But what it does need to be is in order, and this is not in order. And when the city attorney assisted this person in making a presentation by helping her with legal terms, my question is, and you don't have to answer, is that in order? That's the city attorney, and if he's providing her information, there's something, I just need to know the ordinance and all of that about how that is right. Everybody deserves the right to the same kind of representation. And the reason I know that is because he came up and said something to her when I was over there congratulating her, so it wasn't like a hearsay. But what I want to know, and I'm not expecting an answer, is that a part of his duties? Is he available to the rest of us as he was to this young lady? Are there no regulations prohibiting this? And from her actions at the community meeting, what I'm feeling is that she has done what she wanted to for so long that this has become an accepted behavior. Apparently she believes she's entitled to these photographs and to make comments on them about council member and not have any repercussions. That community meeting, as far as I know, for the year that I've been here, no other council member has had a community meeting. And when you elect a council person, if she felt that that was not right for that young woman to come in and record the meeting, what was the problem with that? I totally agree, because I live in a community on H Avenue where most of us don't participate in anything. And it's because of fear, and that's long-time fear and apathy. And to have someone come in to try to record a community meeting, to me, that lets the other citizens know I shouldn't talk, I shouldn't say anything, and nobody should feel that they don't have a right to talk. I commend Sheila Backus. She's a new council person. She doesn't have the years that these people have, but she had the community meeting. She invited people. She's been out in the community, in my community, cleaning up, working, doing things. I mean, she's been catching hell. I don't care if y'all forget the word about getting the garbage people to pick up garbage. You know, you guys drove right past that mattress on H Avenue. That thing has been there for weeks and weeks. And Sheila has spent all of her time, and this I know for a fact, trying to get our neighborhood cleaned up. But to have people come to a community meeting and now want to sit up and criticize when all we want is a better quality of life. And a better quality of life is having the infrastructure set up so that you can live better. I mean, I got water sitting all around my house, mosquitoes. I mean, I had to drive through water just to get here. And then to have some people get up and talk about what, what she did or didn't do or criticize her. I mean, you don't live in that neighborhood. You don't know what's going on. You live in Ward 1, but it's not over where we live, across the railroad tracks. So that needs to be considered. But what I do want, and this is what I'm asking for, is that the city administrator and city council and the attorney provide us, the citizens of Darlington, with a training session on operations of the ordinances for proper behavior during city council sessions. Because apparently we don't know. We don't know, and I don't believe y'all know either, because it's demonstrated by your actions since I've been here. And believe me, I do read the ordinances. I don't see anything about it. Personally, I believe that we need active assistance during these meetings by law enforcement, because they are that bad. Nobody should be disrespected. No taxpayer should be subjected to the blatant disorder I've witnessed in these meetings. I've been appalled at the way that people have disrespected the mayor. So if the mayor is that badly disrespected, imagine how the council people are. Darlington website needs to be immediately corrected or taken down, because in it, it says, this is the kind of place where families can fully bloom, where Southern hospitality is still a way of life, but it is not contributing to a healthy and pleasant environment.
Thank you. Sarah. Ron Brown, drainage.
Good evening, council. Mayor, thank you for letting me speak. Just a quick question. I don't know if you've had time over the last month to look at the drainage issues in Oakdale and the Country Club and formulate a plan on that. Just asking, have you had time, or should I come back next month?
Well, Mr. Garland and I talked about it. I think there's some things that I would like to do. In Jessamine and Chestnut Street, I was told when I was looking, their roots in the lines. We need a cutter. And I have some prices on a cutter, and I have a price on the camera that we can get so they can get them and cut them out. Because the water can't pass because the roots are stopping them. And I understand the same thing is happening out there in Oakdale.
Yes,
The water can't go unless, so we need to have a workshop on that so we can decide as to where we're going with that.
and I know some of the pipes are half filled with just dirt and debris, so they really just need to be cleaned out. So that would be helpful if you
Mr.
could put
Kinsella?
that on the schedule. Not this month, not next month, just sometime in the future.
Well, the vac truck, can push some of it out with that, walk thing, right, Mr. Kinsella?
I couldn't hear you, man.
Oh, yeah.
I heard back truck.
She was saying something about the dirt is in the line.
That back truck cleaned the dirt out.
Yeah, the vac truck to pick the dirt out.
Okay, well, if you could just keep us on the schedule, we'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks.
Brown,
Yes, sir.
talk with Mr. Kinsall and let him know what the drains are that you feel are cleaned with or filled with dirt that can be cleaned out, and that might
The
help.
easier ones to fix right away, yes.
I think she's already told Mr. Garland.
We have a few of those. Maryland and Alabama have been reported. I believe there's been
Yes, sir.
2 other streets, Kentucky, that's of interest. But it's not just in Oakdale, they've been in every community. Ms. Backus reported the problem, so is Mayor Pro Tem Bruce, Councilman Gardner. We get calls just about daily. Somebody wants the backer truck to go suck out a catch basin.
No, I know it's, all of Darlington needs to be addressed, but just to know we're on the schedule, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Unfinished business, second reading of ordinance 2018-17, annexation of 110 Ned Pierce Drive. Can I get a motion on that, please?
So moved. Move the second reading of ordinance 2018-17 for the annexation of 110 Nez Pierce Drive in Darlington, South Carolina.
Second.
It's been properly motioned and seconded, for the reading of ordinance 2018-17 annexation of 110 Ned Pierce Drive. All in favor? Let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Nays have the same right. Motion carries. Okay. New business. Sergeant Terrence Caraway Street and the playground naming. Mr. Gall and I discussed a month ago, so, we want to name a street after Sergeant Terrence Caraway. And, it has to go through the planning commission, and plus I went today to talk with, Jamie Steen at the housing authority, because she would have to, do some things for that. Name about 14 or 16 units on her street, and so I think she's all right with it. But I would like to name, we have a problem with Southern Pine. Sometimes people from Southern Pine think that's Pine Street. And so I would like to suggest that we rename, Southern Pine Street. Caraway Street, Caraway Street. Do we have a Caraway Street here in Dalton? I don't think so.
Let's give it the whole name.
Give it the whole name. Everybody else got any comments on that?
Street Drive. I don't know.
No comment?
Well, I mean, I think that would be a good idea to use Southern Pine, since they keep getting the street mixed up. It would be easier for everybody.
Well, it won't be final tonight. We have to, vote on it and then give it to Ms. Rock, and then, they have to have a public hearing on it. Ms. Rock, you want to talk about that?
Yes, Mayor. State law provides that the planning commission, if there is one in a municipality, is the agency that would officially rename a street. We will have to send out certified letters to everyone who would be affected of the date of a public hearing and get their input before moving forward. And then we would have to go through the process. Once it's approved by the planning commission, go through the process with E911 and all of those folks that have to be notified to make sure that the folks still get that service.
And so we can decide later whether we're gonna give it all the name or part of the name or whatever later, but we can go ahead.
We can submit it to
Submit it.
E911 addressing and see if there's an issue. Obviously, just my own thoughts, you try to put his whole name on the street sign, I mean, how long would it be? So, it may be that we, consider just saying Sergeant Caraway.
T. Caraway.
T. Carroll.
Sergeant T. Caraway.
T. Caraway, okay.
Just to keep it
Sure.
legible.
Does this start with city council making a suggestion to planning commission?
Correct.
Do we need to put it in the form of a motion
Yes,
that we submit that?
yes.
But I'd like to do that, since that would be important to, at this time, I would like to make a motion that we submit renaming Southern Pine to T. Caraway Street in honor of our fallen resident Terrence Caraway.
I'll say the section.
Okay, it's been properly motion and second that we rename, Southern Pine to Sergeant T. Caraway, Street. All in favor? Okay. Please have to say it right. Okay, the playground naming. The playground is not in place yet, but we want to name a part of the playground area up there after camps, along the street.
That's the old Little League ball
The
that
old
we're
Little
talking
League
about.
ball field,
Yes.
Which one?
Little League ball field, right there
Yes.
on Southern Pine.
Yeah, okay.
Kirkland and
Yeah.
what is will soon to be T. Caraway.
So we want to name that the same T. Caraway Playground, or with Terrence Caraway
Terrence Caraway.
Playground?
Give him the full name.
All in favor?
Make a motion to,
I'm sorry, make a motion, somebody make a motion. It's Tony. Go ahead, make a motion.
I make a motion that we name the playground on Southern Pine Street, Terrence Caraway Playground.
I'll second that.
It's been properly motion and second, that we name the, playground here when we get it, Terrence Caraway Playground on Southern Pine. All in favor? Names have the same right.
Maybe just, it's not necessary to be a part of the motion, but when we are badging that and putting information up, it would be good to have a little bit of a history about Sergeant Caraway somewhere, so that that can be a part of somebody
A
who's
marker on the
a
yard.
marker, so that visitors will
You
know
wanna
why
amend it and
it
add that
happens
to
to
it?
be named that way.
Do you want to amend it and add that to it so we can
I don't think it needs to be added as a part of this, but I think we just need to do it when
do
we
it?
do
Okay,
it.
very good, very good, very good. B, I've known, Terrence Caraway all 52 years of his life. Terrence's mother and I attended the same school together. We were good friends until her passing. I made several visits to his grandparents' home on his mother's side, Mr. and Mrs. James Caraway. During my visit, Terrence would be running around the house or either outside with that great big smile on his face. Let me tell you something about Terrence Caraway, the one that I knew along with others. By definition, a hero is a person who is admired or idolized for courage, outstanding achievements. Here are 5 qualities that truly a heroic leader have in common. Courage. Courage and bravery leap into mind when we think of heroism.
Yes.
Selfishness. True leaders always put others first, putting their life in jeopardy. And don't ask for anything in return. Don't seek recognition for what they do. That's what Terrence did. All the mentoring of the youth and others came from his big heart. He didn't boast about what he did to help others. He just did it. Humility, patience, and caring. A good hero is hard to find. One like Terrence Caraway. A genuinely good person. Someone who gets undivided attention of all of us and causes a change. That's what Terrence Caraway did. October the 3rd, number 272 was ambushed along with 6 others in the line of duty. Terrence was doing what he loved to do. He answered his last call in the line of duty. Knowing Terrence like I did and so many others, he wouldn't have had it no other way.
Hallelujah.
But he didn't choose to be ambushed. That's a hero. We need more to step up. Thank you. Ms. Caraway, your family. You almost in the family. Let's just, yeah,
There you go, sit down.
Terrence, with this key to the city, I don't have to tell you about your you know what your father was. And I think a lot of people in here knew all about Terrence with that great big smile. You look like it, and I think you can kind of carry on too. But this is a wife of 29 years. I didn't know Allison before, but I knew after they got married. but we're gonna miss him. And to make the impact he did on Darlington and Florence and the people, when you speak about somebody, you don't have to find words to say. There are all good things about Terrence. I don't have to stand up here and tell something that's not true. He was a good man, a good mentor. He didn't seek any recognition for what he did. He did it out of the goodness of his heart. He didn't go around bragging about what he did like some people do. But that was him. He wanted to get it as key and keep it, put it on the wall. And I know you remember your dad. He was a good man. And Allison, you would say something?
I just want to thank each and every one of you for the gracious outpouring of love. I'm just humbled by the city and all that they've done for my husband and my family. I did write down a scripture that came to me, and I wanted to read it to everyone. It comes from 2 Timothy, 4th chapter, 17th verse. But the Lord stood by me and strengthened me, so that through me the message might be fully proclaimed, and that all the people might hear it. So with Terrence's death, it was a needless sacrifice of one, but has been and will be the catalyst of a movement,
Yes.
not just a moment.
Hallelujah.
The legacy of Terrence Caraway will live on.
Now, all right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. City Council records funding request for sunflowers.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Cleveland Mayor, Council, and all of my fellow citizens. I certainly honor Ms. Caraway tonight. Thank God for her being here. Once again, this is Miss Tanya Flowers. For those of you who don't know me, I'm the young lady in the community. I'm on the ground. I'm a soldier. My foot is on the ground. As a minister, also as a young lady, 46 years old in the community, I have a passion for homeless, battered women and children. As being a survivor and a victim, I stand here today to do what I do as a passion. Not as a job, not looking for no pay, not looking for no recognition, but just knowing for being in that position, how it feels. I have provided for you a little packet where you could follow me right quick, and I'm not going to be long, just to update you on what we've been doing in the community and how far we have came. When we first started, we started out with me just writing my book. The book opened doors for me to go into the women's shelters, also into the orphanages in Columbia, to minister to the children as well as the women. It left from there. I said, Lord, it got to be more. I ended up with an office on 126 Cashel with Mr. Ricky. No bathroom, no nothing, but just 4 walls and a door. God said go, I had to go. So that's what I did. And I loved it, that little office. Left there, started the road march here in Darlington. Every year we host the annual road march on the square in October for National Domestic Violence Awareness. And each year it has gotten better and better, and it has grown. Stop from there, we open up the clothes closet. Due to the sickness of 2 of my uncles, I ended up being caregiver of them. The clothes closet was done away with, which was on 104 City Lane, but we still have a storage unit that we use for clothing. Left from there in 2015, we opened up the first transitional home to be able to house homeless, battered women and children. In the remembrance of my mother, Adeline Scott Blackman, who I miss very dear. And it just keep getting better and better. Just want to update you as of today where we at and what we have done this so far. Phone crisis. My phone is on 24/7, 7 days a week, every hour of the day. Sometimes I answer 911 calls when I'm called to the scene or whatever. Sometimes I go to the scene. Sometimes DSS calls me. Sometimes I intervene with children, meaning that I go to the scene to keep that child from going into foster care. I take that child in and keep them and provide a safety plan with DSS. No pay, no income. That's like you're here to help. We have had 5 phone crises. We answer calls all the time. Up until last week when the article came out, I received a phone call up to a lady that was the age of 80. So domestic violence don't discriminate. No age, no color, no nothing. Domestic violence, just domestic violence. We provide clothing. We partner with the school district. Timminsville, Lamar, Darlington, Hartsville, Society Hill. There's a voucher on the back. The counselor at the school should have a voucher that we gave to them that if any child don't have clothing, which consists of clean clothing, a decent pair of shoes, undies, coat, whatever it is, give them this voucher and it's free. Of course, everything is according to inventory. If we don't have it, we try our best to get it. Because we do have good citizens here in Darlington that does support us and does do good. Like Mr. John Miller. I honor him. I thank God for Mr. Miller. We partner with Darlington Health Department. We provide baby formula. Any pregnant teen, any mother, father that don't have baby formula, there's a voucher. Make copies, give it to them. We provide baby formula. Every year we give out book bags. Every year. Thank God for Mr. Gardner back there. He supported that as well. Sunoco gives the book bags. 30 book bags every year. And whoever supports, they supplies everything that's in it. I asked them, how in the world are the children going to study when they ain't got no room to put the books in? Because everything is so packed. They have everything in there. They're not needed for anything in that book bag. This year we provided 30. Rehab. Those that need to be rehabilitated. We have facilities that accept them. Currently we have 1 that's in rehab now. We drug test. Yes, we drug test. We do background checks. That costs. But that's something that we have to do to make sure that they're benefiting from the program. Shelter. Our facility is like, I don't even call it a facility, it's a home, where they're staying to 6 months to a year. It's not like a regular shelter where you walk off the street, you get in there and you say, I'm staying for the night. You got to go back and stand outside the door and wait for a line. That's not us. We're transitional. Meaning that they stay there from 6 months to a year. So it's a long-term stay for them. Currently we have 1 that's being housed as of tonight. Community. In the community, we partner with McCall Farms. McCall Farms donate canned goods to us. We run a U-Haul. We go pick up the pallet. We stand wherever God tells us to stand, whether it's the courthouse, whether it's on a street corner, whether it's in Washington Street, wherever it is. We go in the community and we lift the U-Haul up and we give out canned goods. This year, we gave out over 3,000 canned goods. We assisted over 250 plus citizens with canned goods this year. Expungements. We try to work with our women that we have in the program with expungements. is very honored today. One of the young ladies that we provided a expungement for, she started work today in Medford as a nurse.
All right.
So if there's a young lady in our program, it's good that she's being detoxed, it's good that she's being clean, it's good she got a safe place, but at the end of the day, our job is we want to put them back to work. So they don't depend on drugs, they don't depend on a man, they don't depend on a woman, they don't depend on nothing, but getting out there, getting what they need to succeed in life and be a good citizen. That's our program is designed for. So we work closely with the solicitor office. So if there's something that can come off their record, we're there to pay for that to get off their record. Furniture. Night Furniture has partnered with us, and they provide mattresses. So if there's someone in need of a mattress, they're donated to us. New, not used, new. Plastic still on. This year alone, we have helped seven families. Job placements. We also try to help our women and men, if there are any, help find them jobs. The good news is, what I like about this year alone, that God has graced us so and has favored us so that this year alone, we have 7 people that we put in placement for jobs this year. Men and women. Each one of them got a contract for 2 years. I'm not talking about no side stuff, good jobs. What I do, what some of the others do, we go meet with the boss and we talk with them.
All right.
9 times out of 10, they hire them on the spot. We want to make sure they're working and being responsible and hold them accountable. That's the thing, we need to hold them accountable. And so that's what we have done with job placement. Prison ministry. I go into the prison, we provide care packages for them. Everything has to be all white though. White socks, white undies, everything has to be white. I try to go in at least once every 3 months where I can go and intervene. Ask them, what is it I can do? How can I help you? What are your goals? Where do you see yourself from 30 days from now? What are your plans? So far we have the 15 inmates at Darlington County Detention Center. I have a badge that they gave me. I go in and minister to them and help them. Transportation. We help them get to work. They don't have a ride. We pick them up. We take them to work. So these are just some of the things that House of Refuge, Refuge Outreach Ministry has accomplished this year alone. I stand before you tonight to ask you on behalf of House of Refuge, it's the second page. We're asking for your assistance by donating $1,000. It's a breakdown of what that $1,000 will be spent on. I reached out to the RV boating place right across from Hardee's, and he gave the letter, the contract, of what he was expecting from me and what he's going to do for us as a 501c3 nonprofit organization. He's going to provide us with 526 square feet of the warehouse to accept a donation that we've applied for, which is a truckload donation, which is requiring that we have a loading dock, a forklift, and a jackknife, whatever that is. We have that. And he's saying that he's going to accommodate us. And the $500 will go to him, and that's for 6 months. That's going to cover 6 month costs. The other $500 is going to go to brochures, ink, signs, banner, operational costs. That's what the other $500 go to. Not only with this donation, we're looking at a $30,000 to $50,000 worth of merchandise that's going to be donated. A tractor trailer. House of Refuge is not going to use, I can tell you right now, everything that's in that tractor trailer. So, what do we do with the stuff that's left in there that we're not using? Well, hurricanes coming up, disasters are coming. If anything hit right now, what do we have in store for the people? If anything hit Darlington right now, and everybody in here lost everything, who in here got something they can give to them? That's my vision. So I'm asking you to help pay Mr., I call him the RV man, for the $500 for the space of the facility. And we'll get the rest done. That's all I need from you, along with the other $500 to help cover the ink and paper and the marketing materials and whatever else that we'll need to help get the signs and the banner and all that stuff done. If someone get burned out, it's there. So it would only help House of Refuge. It would also help the community as a whole.
Well, we have, we're not in budget now, but, in the contingency fund, we have $500 that we can give you. Now, Mr. Garland and I talking, we gave out some of it already.
We still have $1,000 each.
So, sir, that was cut. And we gave $1,850 of that PDRTA for Saturday bus service. So that leaves $1,450 in that account. And if you give the $1,000 completely to House of Refuge, that leaves you $450 for the rest of the year, which runs through June 30th. So $500 will leave you $950 in that account.
What is the amount that we have in our individual? Is all gone?
That was cut in half. It wasn't $1,000 a piece, it was cut to $3,300 with the last budget that was approved. $1,850 of that was given to the PDRTA for Saturday bus service. So that leaves you $1,450 in that line item for the entire rest of the budget year, which runs through June 30th.
But we do have the $500 to give. Is that what you're saying?
That would be my recommendation, yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Anybody else have anything? Things to say?
What do we need, a motion? What we need?
Yeah, the motion to go ahead and get this $500.
Is that,
You got something to say?
Yeah, if you go to the five, I'll offer you to the other
All
five.
right, all right.
Thank you,
All right,
Jesus.
you got it.
Glory.
yeah.
And I say to all the fellow citizens that are here, if there's anyone in need, if you know someone need any of these things, point them in my direction. I'll be more than willing to go an extra mile to help them in any way I can. Thank you.
Somebody make the motion.
I make the motion that we approve to give House of Refuge the funding request of $500.
I second that motion. The proper motion is second, that we give, House of Refuge $500 at contingency fund. All in favor, give them a sign aye. Aye. Ladies have the same right, say, you don't have to vote on another $500 from God and offer. Thank you. Thank you for that. That's good, okay. So now we down to E, playground. We go to the playground first.
Zoning.
Oh, this, okay. First reading of the orders 2018-18, the zoning of 110 Medfield Drive.
Can we explain that? Since we just annexed in this property, it hasn't been zoned yet. So we would suggest for the planning department that we zone this R10 low density residential. R10 low density residential.
Any questions? Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve first reading of ordinance 2018-18 zoning of 110 Nez Pierce Drive as R10 residential.
A second.
Okay, it's been properly, motion is second that we receive first reading of orders 2018-18, the zoning of 110 Medfield Drive as a R10. All in favor of the motion, let me give my sign aye. Aye. Ladies have the same right, motion carries. The playground equipment, what is,
Good evening. Go ahead and I'm gonna pass these on, this email I got today, because I wanted to double check the numbers before the meeting tonight, just to make sure that they were right, because something told me that one of them was not. And the $170,000 the $8,000 installation fee was not right. And this is the email chain that I had between Bliss Products today and myself. So.
That's a big decimal.
Yeah, that was a big, awful big step back there.
I know. I'm much rather about that.
Yep. That wasn't gonna happen.
All right, y'all received, and this was two different designs. This is not two different quotes right here, okay? So I don't want you to think of it as a quote. I want you to think of it as a design because both of these companies are on state contract. So the playground equipment that you're getting is on state contract. So there is no need to bid 3 different times on this, okay? Pegs Recreation and Equipment and Play Park and Structures, which is also known as Bliss Products, okay? I'll just read you what I got. With the Bliss Products, with everything, which is 2 different playgrounds, one for 5 to 12-year-olds, one for 2 to 5-year-olds. It's going to have a zip line and a dog park. Comes out to and fitness equipment. Comes out to a grand total of $278,383.12. If we remove the fitness equipment, it is now $245,786.31.
Repeat that again.
If we remove the fitness equipment, $245,786.31.
When you're talking about fitness equipment, what are you talking about?
It is outdoor sit-up bench, elliptical type machine, actual bicycle.
No, I didn't, in the envelope we got, I didn't see any equipment in it.
Oh, no.
That's not.
No. That's just the line item. Yeah. It's not necessarily, it's outdoor equipment. It would be put at the playground.
The playground is designed for generally what ages?
0 to 12. We'll have 2 of them. So, and look, it's, if you wanted to go down the slides, you could. It's one of those. It's not, that's a recommended age.
So the fitness equipment that we deleted is not
the fitness
really
equipment
their
is,
age anyway.
well, right. That would be for more of the moms, dads that are out there at the park. Now, we can put it, we have 2 prices there. We have 2 different ones where you can put the fitness equipment back in or you can take the fitness equipment out. The Pegs playground with the dog park, and it was the same thing, except with Bliss, we got more playground equipment because they included a 100-foot zip line.
You got a picture to that?
I do. For the zip line, the Bliss equipment.
Yeah, that one.
You should have it in that package y'all got. That is the Peg equipment. The Bliss equipment is the overhead shot.
Okay.
It's in our actual council packet.
No, it's in this one. You don't have this one.
That is Pegs. That is not Bliss. Let me see what you got.
It's in the council packet.
Yeah, okay, I got that.
No, in the council
It's a
packet.
footprint.
Oh, yeah, that one. Okay. I looked at it pretty good because I jumped about them prices.
Prices were ready. We talked about that last meeting when we approved Wells Park, because you said how good it was for that one. I told you to get ready for the next.
I know you did. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready.
All right.
And that's a good point, because we did approve, I think it was $48,000 is what it rounded to for the Virgil Wells playground. And that's a big discrepancy between the 2 playgrounds, and I realize that. But this playground this is not a neighborhood playground. This will be put on Siscron Street between Siscron and Hampton. That whole area right there is going to be playground. And you know, we're looking at putting a dog park, we're looking at putting 2 playground structures, and in the future, we're also looking at putting a water feature there, not a splash pad. We're not in competition with anybody, not something that's going to, that you're going to go there and you're just going to camp out all day. It's just going to be something there that's going to cool you off when it's 100 degrees outside and you're out there with the kids.
All right. So I'll be able to sit out there, you sure?
That's right. and, you know, why are we investing in that? And it's a lot about what's been touched on tonight. It's about a quality of life. I don't have to sell that to you because all of you, all 7 of you are about that. And I understand that. What you've charged me with is going out and finding what we could do and what we can spend. Now, I was with the Peg's playground equipment. The total playground with fitness equipment and dog park is $304,538.51. If you remove the fitness equipment, it's $279,914.51. Don't look at it, and I know it's a big number, and I hate saying what I'm fixing to say. Don't look at it as that you're spending. Look at it as you're investing. We've invested in Virgil Wells Complex. We've invested in that, and that's every time we start working on that ball field over there to get something down, it starts raining. And that's just, you know, that's part of it. But it's coming down and equipment's going up. We got the invoice last week for that stuff. And hopefully within the next 2 to 3 weeks, you'll see a lot of movement over there. This is the hub. This is the main playground. This will be the central point of what we've been trying to do. And this is bringing everybody together. It's right in the middle of town. When you start looking at that stuff, there is a building there that we can utilize as for parties and stuff that we already own, if you so choose to do that. That would take another investment there at some point. And I know between the 2 companies, I don't think you can go wrong. But I will say this, that Bliss has done a lot of work in the area. They've done all the parks, well, most of the parks in Sumter, with Sumter County. They're also working on some stuff with Florence County right now.
So Lee,
yes, ma'am.
I just recently going visiting all these other cities, and so I'm pleased now. I'm very pleased that we are focusing on our downtown area. So I'm looking at this. Is this? See what I saw in the other cities? They look gorgeous and stuff, and every one of them said it was costly. It cost a lot. And these figures still don't come up to what I've been told in the other cities that it costs them, because it's like in the millions.
Yes, ma'am.
So
we're going to be able to do some of the stuff, the landscaping and that type of stuff that costs a little bit more money in-house. So, you know, putting the trail through it, and when I say trail, we're going to put a walking path through we're going to do all that in-house ourselves. We're removing a lot of especially at Virgil Wells Complex, we're removing a lot of the fencing and stuff. Every fence that has come down in Darlington, we have. So we're going to recycle that stuff. It's not going to be, so when we, you know, one of the reasons that the dog park can be so cheap is because we're going to recycle that fence, and we're going to use that fencing for it. We can also use it, you know, the basketball court is another thing that's included in there. We can use that fencing for that court. You know.
Well, I just want us to
yes.
make sure that we got what is it, state of the art?
It is the one from Bliss and the one that I like. The one from Bliss is brand new. This is the first time it's been put out this year. It is a brand new piece of equipment.
That includes the company putting everything.
They will do everything for us. That is installation and everything.
Turnkey job.
Turnkey job.
All right.
Lee, I agree. If council chooses to go forward on this, is there some general time estimate as to when these facilities?
As soon as we sign off on the invoice and get them a PO number, they can start working on it as soon as we deem it necessary for them to start working.
It would be there in the spring for the kids.
I would hope so, yes, sir.
And as money is available, we can add to both playgrounds.
Absolutely. Maybe even create another.
So we're, so are we looking at, the playground at Virgil Wells as well as this playground, both of them
We've
get
already-
finished by the spring?
Yes, absolutely. Hopefully, the Virgil Wells playground, you'll see in the next month or two, start and get going on. Yes, ma'am. This one might take a little bit longer, but it would, definitely by springtime, it would be up and going, unless, unless we have another freak storm or something like that, Yes,
If we approve this expenditure, what kind of money we would have left over for the ball team?
well, I think Mr. Garland could probably answer that better than I can.
1.19 million. $1,190,000.
That's what it'll be left over.
That's from the bond, correct?
The bond. That's what we spent by June 2020, by the way, all that money.
Right.
The ball field is gonna cost how much?
Ball fields, we're gonna have to raise money for, regardless. But the first phase, we were estimating 1.5.
I think you said like 3 point something million, didn't you?
Yeah, it'd be about 3.5 million, to do it as it is laid out on that piece of paper.
We can see this equipment in something.
They have some equipment this summer, if you would like it. I'll get with him and we'll ride over there and take a look at it. And I will even make you get on the bus.
Yeah, it's not yours.
No, we're not buying that bus no more. We
I'll get the county bus, we'll be fine.
We get something different now.
There we go.
I don't think I recovered yet.
Anybody got any other questions? More discussion?
It seemed like we're
So
in
we need to
agreement.
do big,
Yeah.
you don't seem to be in agreement with this one.
Oh, yeah.
You would need a motion.
Well, what you're going to have to decide is if you want to do with new fitness equipment, which company you want to go with, and if you want to do it with fitness equipment or without fitness equipment.
Without.
Okay.
Later on, you said we can add.
Yeah, we can add on, yes ma'am.
I would make a motion that we go forward with approving the playground outdoor basketball court bids that have been submitted to us with lists.
Did we discuss the outdoor basketball court bids any?
We have
The
not.
outdoor basketball courts are, and we're looking over at Darlington Elementary, redoing that piece of property that we've had before, the asphalt area. And I've got your quotes in there from,
Well, this is
industrial
separate,
paint.
right?
This is separate from the
Okay, let's
playground.
go do the
But
motion
you
on-
want to do the, okay.
Let's go
all right.
You included a vote on it.
You include
But
that.
then-
Well,
I included it, but I'll amend it
Yeah.
to just deal with the playground.
Okay, it's included in that price.
And did you make the motion?
Not in that, the basketball courts are not in that price. But he included it in his motion.
Yeah.
Okay, so include the basketball
Amending my
court. Okay, that's what I'm
motion.
saying, it's not in that, right?
Did you include your motion with the outside, equipment, exercise equipment without?
With all equipment.
Yeah, the exercise without the.
You were doing the one for 279, right?
200, it'd be $245,786.31
Without the outdoor.
without the outdoor fitness equipment.
I'll second that motion.
Yeah.
245.
$245,786.31.
It's been
Motion?
second.
Mr.
I
Bennett,
seconded it.
You made the motion?
I seconded the
You seconded
motion.
the motion, okay. Any more discussion? It's been probably moved and seconded that we would go with Bliss for $245,786.31. All in favor? Aye. Ladies have the same right, motion carries. Okay. Now we'll go to the, basketball court. Outdoor basketball court.
All right, the outdoor basketball court bid is over at Blunson Dargan Elementary. And it's the old court that we used to have there. It is actually, it's in pretty good shape. There is some damage from some roots there. They can fix that court and basically kind of do it like they've done the tennis courts. And it'll be for $10,000. They can remove some of the asphalt, fix it, make it back flat, paint lines on it. That's for $10,000. And you also see in there the quotes for basketball goals where we can make that area 2 basketball courts. I think it comes to 2020. I don't know the exact number right off because I don't have that with me. I've been worried about this getting that change into y'all. It's right at $25,000, but I don't know if you have.
We don't have a total, but we got all the stuff you mentioned.
Okay.
On the actual industrial paving part, there's 2 different quotes. Essentially, a $6,000 quote, which will be a paver sealer, essentially, and then $4,000 additionally to repave it with asphalt.
Right.
My suggestion to council is to repave it. If you've been over there, it's got all kind of roots. I think Howard kind of echoed the same thing in some of our conversations.
I don't like the rocks that are in that old pavement. I'd rather see just straight up asphalt.
Well, I don't know if they would come back in or if they would just remove that piece, put something down there, patch it, and then put a coating on top of it. It's basically the way it was explained to me.
Just need to make sure we get above those rocks and this new thing asphalt.
Yes.
No, I'm all for repaving everything, including Tallulah Street.
I'm sure asphalt's gonna be cheaper, would that be better than concrete?
Oh, okay.
That's going to be, if we were to go with concrete, we'd probably have to redo the entire area.
It would cost more, wouldn't it?
Yeah, the asphalt is cheaper, but it's also cheaper to fix when it does crack, just like the tennis courts over here. I think they're about through. Every time they try to finish, it starts raining again. So, what was the total on that? 19?
Tennis courts?
Yeah.
18,750.
Just the
Plus 10,
Half of that.
Half of that.
plus 10,
Everybody hear that?
what's that?
That
The school paid part of
The school paid for the half of the tennis courts, yeah.
Paid for half of it.
Yeah, but that's a smaller area over there too, so you're not looking, that's for that, those 6 courts right there was 18. So, I mean, in the long run, everything's gonna break down, especially with the weather and stuff.
Say, how often you got to come back and seal it, or?
We've been doing that tennis court for
Every 3 years.
Every 3 years.
If we did the tennis court and build it down and then rebuild it back up, it's about $500,000.
To do, we got the price for the one over at Virgil Wells. To do that one, it was right at $100,000. That was just the 2 courts there.
And that $4,000, they're gonna remove roots from a portion of the court.
Right.
So that whole court doesn't have roots up there.
There's just the side closest to the pine trees does.
Yeah.
And you will, we haven't included the price of the cameras yet, have we? We talked about.
No, we have not. I have not got prices on cameras yet, because that'll be one of the add-ons, but we'll have to.
I suggest getting Chief Washington on that, even the price of cameras for another project we have.
We have a lot of
Alright,
kids.
so something.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
About make sure about the prices of the basketball goals too, because they're not cheap. The basketball goals themselves will cost as much as getting the asphalt fixed.
There's
So you're
another
looking for 2
$10,000.
prices, looking for the.
Well, that's all together, right? Right. I just want you to be aware of that. It is,
So the total price is,
$20,000.
So it's gonna be
20,000.
10, 20.
well, it's going to be a little bit more because the basketball goals are about $12,000.
a piece.
No, not a piece, not a piece. For 4.
All together. So we're looking at 10, 22, 25,000.
Yeah.
4 courts?
4 goals. 2 whole courts.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the outdoor basketball court bids.
I
I
second.
second.
Any more discussion? It's been probably moved and second, if we approve the outdoor basketball court bid. Nobody gave the amount. Let's add the amount with that.
25,000.
25,000.
All in favor of the motion, let me sign aye.
Aye.
Nays have the same. Motion carries. Okay, F,
Thank y'all.
thank you.
Thank you for the word.
Let me know when y'all wanna go.
Okay.
I'll make it happen.
Okay, thank you. Just get us another bus.
I'll get the other bus.
Okay, thank you. The master set off did agreement. We have an agreement now. I think the police department using the water department. What happens is, in the water department, if somebody leaves without paying their bill, when they, get a tax money, they pick it up and return it to the city. Same thing happens in the police department. And we have to renew that agreement every
I think it's every 5 years.
every 5 years.
It allows for $25 to go to the municipal association for a fee, and state tax commission is $25 also.
Y'all better listen so you hear what Mr. Gardner is saying. What Mr. Gardner
What's he saying, Mr. Darling?
It's just $25 to the state tax commission as a fee, whatever money's collected, same thing with from the municipal association. All we're doing is just updating that agreement.
Okay, that's all.
Okay.
Can I get a motion on that?
Can we just say so move?
I'll motion for the,
I move that we approve the MASC set-off debt agreement as with
Yes. With MASC.
Municipal Association of South Carolina set-off agreement that's been presented to us.
I'll second that.
It's been probably moved that we have received a municipal set-off debt agreement with South Carolina for the name of the claimant agent for the city. All in favor? Everyone sign aye.
Aye.
Ladies have the same right, motion carries. Okay, you have a report, receiving information. Council comments? Anybody have any comments?
I have one. In reference to the letter that was read by, what was her name?
Andre Knapp.
Ms. Knapp's. The meeting that I had was for the citizens of Ward 1. The citizens of Ward 1 stated that they did not want to be on YouTube. They did not want to be on Facebook. They have that right. They have a right to their privacy. The meeting was simply for them to be able to come to a meeting, discuss any issues that they have, ask any questions, gather any information that they may need in order to be more informed about what's going on in the city. Those citizens, mostly of them are senior citizens, and stated that they did not want to be recorded. And by law, they have that right. In order for any citizen in a private setting or a private building to be recorded, the person who's asking to, didn't even ask, but the person who wants to record them will have to get a consent from every one of those citizens in writing saying that they would like to be recorded.
Anybody else? Yes, Mr.
Yes, ma'am. I want to take a moment just to remind our council and mayor of something very special that's happening this week. St. John's Elementary School is celebrating 200 years as an educational institution. They started in 1818. They're the oldest continuously operating school in the state of South Carolina, and they're within the city limits of this town. There's a Taste of St. John's, which is elementary, which is coming up Thursday evening from 5 until 7. I would urge all council and mayor and public to attend and honor this very special school, which has been a part of the fabric of our town longer than our town's been in existence. So that's St. John's Elementary School, 200-year celebration, Thursday night from 5 until 7. It's at 140 Park Street.
Well, I go in the morning, I told them I go in the morning and go Thursday. I've already called and made my.
Mayor and Council, I just have a little short comment that I want to make, and that is that all of us, all of our council members, and I'm saying this for myself, we make a very special effort for us to begin to work with. We've heard a lot of criticism about our behavior and what we're doing, but we are working. We are making efforts to work together. And when we take steps to get to know our community and be able to do that, we hate that the only thing that is brought back is that the negative comments that may have been made. I have meetings and all, and the only way that I get what is really happening in my community, in my ward, is that they feel very comfortably in being open and honest with me. You know, they all have a fear about being publicly, so no, there's no recording. Most of the time when we're meeting, the cell phones is not even there. I do not make a lot of announcements about it because we really want to get things done. We talk a lot. I do, anyway, and my co over there, me and Brian, we may go at it, but we work together. We all have the same thing, and we hate that the only thing that you can take away from it is that the negative comment. We do a lot of work. We have done a lot of work since I think we've been here.
I just wanted to be clear to all the citizens that as council, regardless of whether they talk about the good or the bad or the ugly, whether or not we may end up saying things against each other that we wish we would take back after we've said them, that we stand shoulder to shoulder with the idea that people have a right to speak their concerns, and there's going to be no retaliation, no retribution from council in any way if anything that the public may end up wanting to address us about. So if there is some concern, some fear about speaking about what you see as good or bad, then certainly do not be afraid that council will take any action in connection with that.
I wish there were some things that I could stop. I would stop all this killing, all this shooting, but I can't. I don't have any control over grown folks. I can't say what they can do, what they can't do. We don't live in the same household. So how can I stop somebody from doing something? They don't live in the same place with me, and I don't know that they're doing it. So that's a false accusation. I can't stop you from doing that. I can't stop Mr. Goss. I can't stop Mr. Edgewood, anybody on council, Lacey, anybody in the audience, for doing what they do. I don't have the control over it. I wish I did, but I don't. Anybody else? We're going to take a 5 minute, you can do reminders. On Thursday, Friday, November 22nd, 23rd, 2018, Thanksgiving holiday, the city offices will be closed. On Tuesday, December 4th, 2018, 6:30 p.m., our regular monthly meeting, Darlington City Council. We will be going into executive session after I get this motion, but we may or may not vote when we come back out. But we will take a 5 minutes break after somebody gets this motion to go into.
So we go into executive session.
Second.
Discussing economic development with respect to the cottonseed oil mill site.
Okay, so probably move a second, then we go into executive session, so we'll come to cottonseed oil mill site. May or may not vote after. 5 minutes break, come back promptly.
All in favor?